It is no secret that even at a shallow depth, a cell phone or satellite signal will not be received. Water serves as a screen and simply absorbs these radio waves. Therefore, communication with submarines is a technically very difficult task. In most cases, to organize communication, the submarine simply surfaces to periscope depth and raises the antenna. But in this case, it reveals its location and becomes vulnerable. How to organize communication on a submarine that is at great depth for weeks or even months? In the middle of the last century, engineers managed to find a solution to this problem. Communication was implemented using ultra-long waves that can penetrate underwater to great depths. However, the use of these waves is associated with serious technical difficulties. For example, the wavelength with a frequency of 82 Hz is 3,658 kilometers. To transmit them, huge antennas are needed, which are impossible to build. Engineers still figured out how to solve this problem. They buried 2 electrodes connected to a transmitter in the ground at a great depth at a distance of 50 kilometers from each other. The current lines between the electrodes penetrate the ground and use it as a giant antenna. As a result, the VLF signal is emitted by the ground itself. It easily overcomes great depths and reaches the antennas on submarines, which are long metal cables. The VLF transmitter is very complex and has an extremely low efficiency. For each emitted watt of electromagnetic energy, the transmitter consumes 100 kW of electrical energy. Therefore, a separate power plant is required to power it. It is impossible to install either a transmitter or an antenna for emitting a signal on board a submarine. Therefore, communication with the boat is one way, and the data transfer rate is only a few characters per minute. Short conditional signals are transmitted to the submarine, each of which means a specific command. To receive the signal, the antenna must be extended, the submarine must float, that is, tow a cable several kilometers long, otherwise no commands can be received. Very low-frequency radio waves do not require the use of giant antennas and are also capable of penetrating water, but not deeper than 20 meters. To receive a VLF signal at great depth, submarines usually use a buoy with an antenna. It receives data and transmits it to the submarine via a cable. The first VLF transmitter, Gallief, was built in Germany in 1943. After the end of the war, it was transported to the USSR and is used by Russia to this day. This system requires repeaters. They are special submarines equipped with a receiver and transmitter, as well as repeater aircraft. They are equipped with drums with a retractable cable antenna 8.6 kilometers long, as well as a transceiver, and provide communication with the command post from anywhere in the world. Such equipment is installed on the Russian Il-80 Doomsday aircraft and the American E-6 Mercury and E-4A. In addition to radio communication, information can also be transmitted to submarines using sound waves. The USSR and the USA installed special acoustic equipment in areas of the seabed where submarines often sailed, which was connected to land-based communication points using cables. In addition, one-way communication with a submarine can be established using explosions that occur after a certain period of time. A hydroacoustician on board a submarine records them and deciphers them like Morse code. Nowadays, submarines use a combined type of communication in the form of buoys. They float to the surface and receive regular radio communication, then convert it into acoustic waves that the submarine can receive at great depths. Subscribe to the channel. There will be much more interesting ahead.